Hello everyone, this is Case from JCJK Gaming. Welcome to another LP for Star Wars Month, our final LP, rest assured. We will be doing none other than Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic, which is an LP that will span a while let's face it, this game is very long. It's an RPG. Couple things I'm going to note. First, Jason will be joining this LP, if everything goes according to plan. He should be joining this LP actually at some point. But do understand, he is not going to be here for the first few parts because he hates the beginning of this game with a passion. Which, and by that I mean the first planet, Terrace. So, he's not going to be here for that. So, that aside, I'm going to be commentating by myself for the first few parts. This is a post-commentary LP, obviously. And I decided to go with a soldier, because I want to get through this game. The other classes have their advantages, but they are a bit harder than just going soldier and just annihilating everything. So I looked through and decided to choose this portrait for my character. I went male soldier, obviously. And here's my attribute distribution. I don't remember how I did here. It's been a little while since I've recorded this. So yeah. So this LP will be spanning over the summer, as we have the time to do it. What am I doing? I'm going mostly strength just so I can kill things. Not really anything else. I thought I could maybe save points, but I didn't, so I decided to just go for intelligent, or no, what I go for? Charisma is my last, no? Intelligence, okay, there you go. Also, for the first parts, you won't be able to see the cursor. Sorry about that, I did fix that later. So for now, you just can't really see the cursor. So I decided to go with recommended. Actually, no, I didn't. Nope. Wait, did I? Also went with awareness. I tried to customize my character a little bit. Funny story about the feats and force powers. I actually didn't know you could scroll down on this for the longest time when I first played this game, so I literally maxed out all the beginning stuff. I didn't know there was anything else. So this playthrough will be a lot better than my first playthrough, and I did beat the game in my first playthrough right away. Somehow, even though I didn't know about scrolling down the feats menu. But yeah. I was about to name myself JCJK. This is back when we were JCJK. I decided to name myself Cancer. With a K. Answer, I guess. Anyways, here we go. We're about to start. And one thing you'll notice, I will be adding the cutscenes over the gameplay. Because they did not show up for some reason in the game. And I'm not sure how this is going to work. Because whenever I did this on my main channel, it actually got copyrighted to the point where I couldn't even really play the video. So I actually had to replace it with my own little text scroll, so I'm not sure how we're going to do it. Maybe I'll do it like that, we'll see though as the video gets uploaded. Anyway, Knights of the Old Republic. 4,000 years before the rise of the Galactic Empire, the Republic verges on collapse. Darth Malak, last surviving apprentice of the Dark Lord Revan, has unleashed an invincible Sith armada upon an unsuspecting galaxy. Crushing all resistance, Malak's war of conquest has left the Jedi Order scattered and vulnerable, as countless knights fall in battle, and many more swear allegiance to the new Sith Master. In the skies above the outer rim world of Terrace, a Jedi battle fleet engages the forces of Darth Malak in a desperate effort to halt the Sith's galactic domination. And ladies and gentlemen, welcome to what is, in my opinion, one of the greatest Star Wars stories to be written. Possibly. Maybe the original trilogy beats it out by a little bit, but this is up there, folks. One of my favorite Star Wars stories. And you'll see why as we continue on. There's some great twists, there's some great characters, some great moments. Overall, just amazing. Sadly, in my opinion, the gameplay department doesn't hold up as much, but aside from that, story, it's way up there. And here we go, we're starting out here. The Endar Spire is under attack by Sith fleet. And it's quite a ferocious battle. The CG in this game is actually really good. This is a 2003 game. It might have been 04. Don't remember exactly which year it was, but for the year, it had really good. It was really good. And one thing you will notice, sadly, as we start up the game, yeah, I'm playing on some low graphics. And the reason is because I want this to be more better performing than better looking. So you will see that the graphics are really bad, and don't make that have a bad impression. If you download some mods and if you've had the settings all the way up, this game can actually look really good. Sadly, my computer is not good enough for that, which is why I wanted Jason to do this LP, but sadly his computer is fried, so he can't really do that. He wasn't going to be able to do this one for us for Star Wars one, so I had to do it. Alright, so we're introduced to Trask here. He's basically your tutorial machine. He's basically just going to be giving you a tutorial for the game. And some general expository stuff.
Bastil is the commanding officer on the Endar Spire. Well, not an officer, really, but she's the one in charge of this mission. One of our primary duties is to guarantee her survival in the event of an enemy attack. You swore an oath just like
So Bastil is important. Obviously. At least we swore an oath.
Elite combat training, tops in your class. It's no wonder you were handpicked.
Yeah, because we're a male soldier.
Haven't seen a recruit with your kind of potential in 20 years. But all that potential doesn't mean a thing if you can't deliver when it counts. We're soldiers. We're trained for combat. Bastil is going to need men and women like us at her side during this attack.
Yep. So you can give... This game is kind of about a light side, dark side alignment. It has that system. So you can either be a huge dick, or you can be pretty nice. Or you can even just do both of them and be sort of neutral. And I believe during this playthrough I'm going to be more of the neutral type. I will do some bad things. I'll do mainly good things, because honestly I cringe really hard whenever I read the bad decisions in this game. So I generally go for the good stuff, but I will try to be neutral, because later on we get force powers. Yes, we are force sensitive, would you know. Once later on we get force powers, I believe your alignment depends on which how many force points you need to use for each ability. So I do believe if you're neutral, it's just the same for both, whereas if you're light, you just have to spend more for dark. If you're dark, you have to spend more for light. Although if you are light, you have to spend less for light. If you're dark, you spend less for dark. You should get that. Alright, so yes, this game is a little party system. 3 players in your party at a time, and you can switch out characters as you go. So Trask is going to be here for the first level as our party member.
Because of the attack, this room is in lockdown, but don't worry.
Yeah, and each character has their own sort of abilities. So yeah, I did all the okay thing just so because I already knew how to play the game. So you can switch to different characters, and you can use them to unlock doors and stuff, or just do certain things. They each have their own like special abilities. Moving this game is a little weird, but you can get used to it after a while.
That was Karth contacting us on our portable communicator.
Karth and Nazi, one of my favorites.
He's seen more combat than the rest of the Endar Spire's crew put together. If he says things are bad, you better believe it. We have to get to the bridge to help defend Bastila. There's a map of the Endar Spire and a copy of Karth's message in your...
Oh yes, your journal. It's basically your quest log. It's pretty useful. And also your map up there can be useful as well. So I received a message from Karth and Nazi, ordered all hands to the bridge to protect Bastila. There's a droid. It does basically nothing.
That door is locked. I don't have the codes to open it.
So yeah, I was just like, okay, I accidentally skipped it by accident. But basically, he can slice through the door by sort of lockpicking it in a sense. And some characters will be able to do that better than others, depending on their stats. This game does, I believe, use sort of a D&D combat and other stuff system, just for all of its stuff, because it's a BioWare game. So it's sort of how things work. It's sort of at least it's its style. It might not be the exact system, but that's its style. For the first area, we're going to be doing mainly blaster rifle shooting. This is their combat. It's pretty much turn-based, and you can do different things. You can do power attacks. You can do just basic attacks. Generally, you'll want to maybe open up, you try a couple power blasts depending on what enemy you're facing and how dangerous it is. Usually basic attacks will work. You can either do ranged attacks or you can do melee attacks. Generally for this game, you'll want to whittle an enemy. If it's an enemy that does only melee, you'll want to whittle it down with your blaster rifle as it closes in on you, and then switch to your melee weapon, which you'll see me do a bit later on in the game. All the Sith use blaster rifles, so you might as well exchange blaster shots with them, especially since you have Krask. Sometimes the AI will randomly walk up straight up to the enemy and shoot them. I don't know why they do that. The AI in this game can behave very strangely sometimes. And they'll take unnecessary damage, and it's just generally annoying. I believe I should really be focusing on using the sword with my character right now, though, because he is a he has a high strength stat, which strength doesn't exactly correspond to blaster, obviously, because you don't need strength to use a gun. But yeah. Also, I'm getting a lot of grenades right now, and those are going to be pretty useful for certain situations where maybe just normal weapons won't cut it. And I exchange it for a combat suit, and that just gives me better protection. I believe this is random, what happens in these cutscenes and how long it takes for the enemies and stuff to die. I believe it's all random, but I could be wrong. I believe I saw that on a speedrun, though. Yeah, see, they're gonna use a grenade. And they killed their own guy, but they managed to kill the other two, so I guess that was worth it. I don't know. Sith are crooked men, aren't they? So yeah. As you saw, that power blasted a ton of damage, but sometimes it will miss. Usually when they're not highly trained, it'll more often than not miss. But when it does connect, it is really useful for doing a ton of damage. Most of these battles can just be like firefights that last a while. Whoa. Oh, there's more. Alright, here I decided to actually try out my melee weapons, so I went longsword. And I decided to run out straight up to him and attack. I believe they can switch their weapons, so depending on how far away you are. But as you see, wow, I just one-shotted both of them. One with a power attack and one with just a normal attack. So as you can see, my strength stat is pretty ridiculous at this point in the game. Because I just really wiped them out. So obviously later in this playthrough, I'll probably be specializing in hand-to-hand combat. Oh, you hear the sound of lightsabers in the background. I wonder who that is. Let's go see. So shoutouts to people who have played this map on Battlefront 2. There's actually a Battlefront 2 mod map for this. Oh, there you go. So yeah, there's a Dark Jedi fighting another Jedi. Basically a cutscene just to see how it goes. Oh wow, killed it. Then the explosion.
That was one of the Jedi accompanying Bastila. Damn, we could have used her help.
Yeah, that was sort of anticlimactic. They both just died. So as you see, I sort of maybe sacrificed some health as I walk in for the kill, or as I try to close in on them. But as you can see, in the end, I end up out damaging anyway. There you go. So you can look at remains. My friend, and I don't know why I'm saying my friend, and Jason actually told me you can, there's a slight chance you can actually get Sith armor from, it might be either be a glitch or a actual rare drop, but there's a chance you can get Sith armor from one of these Sith soldiers. Which would actually be really useful, because there's a part coming up actually like on the first planet where you can use Sith armor, where you need Sith armor. So it'd actually be pretty cool if that would work. Anyway, we're going for the kill. Sorry if this playthrough is a bit rusty at some points. I do try to edit stuff to where it's, you know, actually tolerable to watch. But there are some points where I might choke a lot because I actually have only played through this game once. Now it's quite some time ago. But I wanted to get this game in for Star Wars month because it's a very Star Wars game where it gets me in that Star Wars mood. And it's generally just fun. It's just a nice thing to watch unfold. Also, I don't know why I went back here. I should have edited this out, honestly. I walked all the way back here for no reason. You're supposed to continue on through the bridge area. So that's exactly what I did. You'll always want to check remains. There can sometimes be some pretty useful things. If they're not exactly all there outright, you can just accumulate them over time by checking a ton of remains. Like, I probably have a ton of grenades, frag grenades now, just from checking all these dead bodies. So it's a very nice thing to do. Oh, so you have to level up to open this door. I actually did not know that. Because I'm trying to save my levels for something. You'll see why later, but I'm trying not to level up too much. So I decided to just go with treat injury, and for feats, what did I pick? Critical strike, that's a pretty good one. Alright, so now I can open a door. And I accidentally opened that, and here is saving. I will try to cut out saves if I remember to, but they aren't really that long anyway, so it doesn't really matter in the end. And I made it JCKK, like I said, this is back when the channel was still JCKK, now it's JCJK, but you'll always see it as JCKK, so... Oops.
Something behind here. Damn, another Darth
Oh.
Malak. I'll try to hold him off. You get to the escape pods. Go!
So Trask is going to sacrifice himself for us. Yeah, doors closed. That probably wasn't a pretty fight. But, you know, good guy doing that for us. So now what we're going to do is just not go through that way, because that's the way we just went. We're going to go to the starboard section. Or I can be an idiot. Yeah, this is just a very rusty section. Yeah, I don't know why I did that. Clearly it's like a new area, but I decided to just not go in. And I couldn't even move into the door for like 30 seconds. That was terrible. I'm honestly sad at myself for doing that.
On your personal communicator. I'm tracking your position through the Endar Spire's life support systems. Basila's escape pod is away. You're the last surviving crew member on the Endar Spire. Now I can't wait for you much longer. You have to get to the escape pod.
So we're the last surviving member, and we need to get to those escape pods. It's very imperative. So we're gonna have to fight a few more Sith, but as you can see, it won't be much of a challenge. Now that I have my, since I have a high strength stat, and I leveled up dueling, so yeah, not much of a challenge. I tried to check for our remains. Sometimes they won't have remains for you to loot. Sometimes they will. It's just sort of luck, I guess, or just knowing which ones will have remains and which ones won't. So I had to go in for the power attack. Almost killed him outright. Maybe one more attack will do it. Yep. And this guy over here. You can actually pause during combat to queue up commands for your character. Sometimes you'll want to disengage and then re-equip commands, depending on what is happening in the battle. But the pausing thing is actually pretty useful, as you can assign commands to all of your characters at once. So this is sort of another tutorial thing right here. You can, it basically lets you choose which way you want to, it basically just lets you choose which way you want to take out these Sith, and it shows you like a little gameplay mechanic you can use at some specific parts of the game. You have repair parts and computer spikes. You use computer spikes to sort of hack into different computers, and you can use it for certain things like giving you a map, helping you get rid of enemies, show you the area with a what you want to call it, with like a camera system maybe. I decided to reactivate the droid. So some droids in the game are disabled or damaged. You can reactivate them by using repair parts, and if your repair skill is high enough. But thankfully we can do that. So since I had 8 repair parts exactly, I decided to activate the droid shields and whatever the other thing was, engage your droid in patrol mode. There you go. You get experience for this stuff. It's minuscule, but it's still pretty nice. So yes, there's so many Sith in here, but I activated the warbot, so the Sith. The Sith will have a lot harder time dealing with me, to the point where they actually won't be able to deal with me. Enjoy. Yeah, this warbot is one resilient dude. As you can see, he just annihilates everyone. Wow, one shot, one tapped all of them. Pro CS:GO player here. Alright, so yeah, he basically walks around at this point. There's nothing else you can do with him.
You've made it just in time. There's only one active escape pod left. Come on, we can hide out on the planet below. I'm a soldier with the Republic, like you. We're the last.
Here's Karth.
Left on the Endar Spire. Basila's escape pod's already gone, so there's no reason for us to stick around here and get shot.
The music's really weird when it loops, as you can tell.
Time for questions later.
Alright, so now we're gonna escape with Karth on an escape pod. Which I believe is this one. Yep. Last escape pod, your only hope of survival. Let's go. Alright, and with that, the escape pod launches off and we are heading down to the planet Terrace. Wow, just in the brink of time. Or in the nick of time, not the brink of time, what? So our escape pod has a rather rough landing on Terrace. And here is our little session. It's like we're having a rough sleep. Not sure what's causing it though. Having a vision. It's like it's Bastila fighting a Sith. And that is going to be it for this episode of Knights of the Old Republic. Hope you enjoy. Sorry about this little commentary for now, but Jason will come in after a little while into the game. So next time you'll find out what actually is going on with these visions and whatnot. See you guys then.